Rainwater was spraying up from the road every time a car drove past. It was evening in Lagos. The sky was dark, even though it was not yet night. Drivers were shouting. Someone was selling roasted corn by the roadside. Nobody had time. And in the middle of that, a blind woman was standing by the edge of the road. She wore an old brown ankara and a faded blouse. Her eyes were covered with big dark glasses. One of the lenses was cracked. Her grey hair was not combed. She held a thin wooden walking stick and stretched one hand out like she was trying to feel the world. Cars were rushing past her, splashing water on her legs. People walked by, but nobody touched her. Some people hissed and turned their faces away. A group of boys by the roadside laughed and said, "See this beggar, she wants to die on the road. If car hits her now, they will say driver is wicked." One woman selling oranges whispered, "A beg leave her. Blind people beg with style now. All of them are acting." Nobody helped. Nobody even stopped, except one girl, a very small, thin girl in a torn blue dress. Her name was Olivia. She was only 19. But her face already carried the kind of tired that most people do not feel until they are 50. Her dress was ripped at the shoulder. She wore cheap plastic slippers that were almost broken. Her hair was packed back, not neat, just held with a rubber band. You could tell she did not eat well. Her arms were small, her cheekbones were sharp. But her eyes were alive, her eyes were kind. And when she saw the blind woman standing by that busy road, shaking and trying to cross, she did not laugh. She did not look away. She dropped the nylon bag she was carrying, and she ran. "Mama," Olivia said softly, holding the woman's arm, "please don't move. The road is not free yet." The blind woman turned her face toward the sound. Her voice was shaky. "Please, please help me. I need to cross. I'm trying to go home, but I cannot see the cars. They are too fast today. My stick is not helping me." "It's okay," Olivia said. "Bring your hand. I will help you." Nobody else said a word. People just watched. One man even shouted, "Small girl, leave that woman. She can walk. All these beggars lie for pity. Don't let her hold you. She will pretend and fall and blame you." But Olivia did not listen, because she knew something most of them did not know. Kindness is not foolish. Kindness is power. She held the blind woman's hand with both of her hands. Her fingers were shaking too, but she stood strong. "Okay, Mama," she said. "When I say now, we will take one step. We will go slow. I will not let anybody hit you." The woman nodded. Her chin was shaking. Her lips were dry. Her walking stick scratched the wet ground. Traffic was still moving fast, but Olivia did something crazy. She did not just wait. She stepped into the road. With her hand raised, "Stop, please stop," she shouted. A car slammed its brakes and honked loud, angry. The driver shouted out the window, "Are you mad? You want to die? Move from the road." Olivia's heart jumped, but she did not move back. She held the blind woman tight and yelled, "She cannot see, please." The driver looked again. He saw the dark glasses. He saw the shaking stick. His face changed. He sighed, waved his hand and stopped. Other cars began to slow down because of him. For 5 seconds, Lagos traffic froze. In that small 5 seconds, Olivia pulled the blind woman forward step by step. "Careful, Mama. There's water here. Put your foot a little higher." "Good. We are almost done." The blind woman was breathing fast, like she had been running. Her hand squeezed Olivia's arm so tight it almost hurt. When they reached the other side, Olivia let out a shaky laugh. "See, we did it." The blind woman touched Olivia's face with her free hand like she was trying to see her with her fingers. "What is your name, my child?" she whispered. "Olivia." "How old are you?" 19. "You are shaking," the woman said. Olivia smiled a small, sad smile. "You too." They both laughed a little. Then, from across the road, someone shouted, "Eya! See Beggar and her apprentice. Touching scene. Lagos people and drama." People laughed and kept walking. Olivia felt heat in her chest, not anger, pain. She hated how they talked, like this woman was not human. Olivia turned back to the blind woman. "Mama, where are you going? Where is your house? I can take you." The woman's voice went low, almost secret. "Number 7, Royal Palm Estate, the big black gate, the one with flowers." Olivia froze. Royal Palm Estate? That place in Ikoyi, the one with guards and rich people cars. That was not the answer she expected. She looked again at the woman's wrapper. It was old, torn at the edge. Her slippers were cheap. Her blouse was faded like sun had eaten it. She had dust on her feet. She did not look like someone who lived in a rich estate. Olivia blinked. "Are you sure?" she asked softly. "That place is far, and it's expensive." The blind woman lifted her chin in this quiet, proud way and said, "It is my house. Not I work there, not someone there will help me." She said, "It is my house." Olivia swallowed. "Okay, then that means this woman is either lost, or she is telling the truth, and something here is very, very wrong." "Okay, Mama," Olivia said, "I will take you." The blind woman squeezed her hand. "Thank you, my child." Olivia picked up her nylon bag with her free hand. The bag held all her things. 2 pieces of bread she bought to eat later. An old phone that didn't come on anymore. 1 book. She always carried the book. They started walking. It was a long walk, but they walked. Side by side, slow. People stared. Some pointed. Some said, "What is this poor girl doing with that blind beggar again? Everybody just wants pity money in this Lagos." Olivia heard them. The blind woman heard them too. And then the blind woman said something so soft that Olivia almost missed it. "My name is Sandra." Olivia smiled. "Okay, Mama Sandra." The woman's mouth curved. "That's what my son calls me. Mama Sandra." Olivia tilted her head. "Your son?" "Yes." "Where is he?" There was a pause. Then the blind woman whispered, "He is busy. He is always busy." The way she said it, it did not sound like anger. It sounded like missing. It sounded like love that hurt. They kept walking. The rain started to slow down. The sky turned orange. Big houses started showing. Tall gates, flowers, security men. Olivia felt small every step they took into that rich area. She felt people's eyes change. The security men at the gates started watching them like they did not belong there. She could feel it. She knew that feeling. She knew it too well. Poor people are allowed to clean rich places, but they are not allowed to walk inside like they belong. When they reached Royal Palm Estate, Olivia almost stopped walking. The gate was huge, black, polished. The kind of gate that looks like it can talk and tell you, "Go back. You are not needed here." 2 men in security uniforms stood outside. One of them was on the phone. The other one was eating gala. When they saw Olivia and the blind woman walking toward the gate, their faces changed. "Hey," one guard shouted. "You, where are you going? You cannot enter here." Olivia raised her voice, but kept it polite. "Good evening, sir. Please, I am helping Mama." "She said she lives here." The guard laughed, like she had just said something funny. "This blind beggar. You said she lives where?" The other guard laughed too. "Ah, Lagos will not kill me. So beggars now have mansion inside Royal Palm." Olivia felt shame rise in her throat like fire. Not shame for herself, shame for them. Before she could answer, the blind woman lifted her chin again and said in a calm, clear voice that did not shake at all, "Open the gate." The first guard frowned. "Excuse me?" "Open the gate," she repeated. "Call Nicholas if you don't believe me." Silence. The 2 guards looked at each other. Their faces changed. Olivia felt it instantly. That name, Nicholas. She had heard that name before, Nicholas Okafor. People on the street called him the young billionaire, owner and CEO of Nictech, the tech company with big buildings in Victoria Island, the one that builds software for banks and for security and for government, the one always on TV talking about the future of Africa. That Nicholas? That one? The guard suddenly stood straight. "Ah, Mama Sandra," one of them said, like fear was now sitting in his voice. "You're the one?" The blind woman lifted her chin again. "Yes. Open this gate. I am tired." They opened it so fast. Olivia followed her inside, holding her arm. Her heart was beating fast now. Because this was no joke. The inside of the compound looked like something from a film. White walls, glass. A wide yard with palms, a black Rolls-Royce shining under the front light. The kind of shine you only see on cars that cost more than most people will ever touch in their life. and standing beside that Rolls-Royce was a man in a black suit. Tall, clean, strong shoulders, serious face, no smile, sharp haircut, gold wristwatch. He was talking to someone on the phone, but the moment he turned and saw them, the phone slipped from his hand and fell. His eyes went wide. "Mama?" he said. The blind woman's lips started shaking. "Nikki?" Something happened in that second. Something big. All the staff in the compound froze, the driver froze, even the air felt like it froze, because this rich, powerful, untouchable man, this billionaire in a perfect black suit, ran. He ran. He ran to the blind woman like a little boy. He held her face with both hands, like he was scared to break her. "Mama," he breathed, voice breaking. "Where did you go? We've been looking for you. Why are you outside alone? Why are you walking by yourself?" One of his hands was shaking. He was scared. Really scared. Olivia stood there, still holding Mama Sandra's arm, still in her ripped dress, still wet, still hungry, watching. And that was when it happened. The moment that would change her entire life. Nicholas finally looked at her. His eyes moved from Mama Sandra's face to Olivia's hand holding his mother. To Olivia's face. He saw her. Really saw her. He did not see a girl in torn clothes. He did not see a street girl. He saw the person who brought his mother home safe. He took one slow step toward her. His voice was low, careful, dangerous, grateful. "Who are you?" he asked. "And where did you find my mother?" Olivia opened her mouth, but no sound came out, because all she could think was one thing. "Wait. Your mother. Your mother. This blind woman that people called Beggar in the street is the mother of a billionaire." Before Olivia could speak, a woman in fancy clothes came out from the main house and said loudly, "Nikki, don't tell me you're bringing street people into this compound, ag." Nicholas lifted his hand. "Stop." Silence. He turned back to Olivia. "Talk to me," he said. "Please, I want to hear it from you." And Olivia finally whispered, I helped her cross the road. Sir, cars were almost hitting her. People were laughing. Nobody wanted to touch her. She was shaking. She said this is her house. So I brought her." Nicholas's jaw tightened. His eyes got wet. He took a breath to calm himself. Then he said, "Only one sentence. For saving my mother, your life will never be the same again." Olivia just stared at him. Her lips parted, her heart pounding, and then a loud voice broke through the air from behind them. Sir Nicholas, there's a video already online. Someone recorded your mother outside begging on the road. They are saying you abandoned her." Nicholas's face went cold, very cold, like ice. He turned slowly. "What did you just say?" The man swallowed. "It's spreading. People are posting it. They're saying you left your mother blind in the street to suffer." For 1 second, nobody moved. Then Nicholas said, without looking away from Olivia, "Bring her inside. Now, no one touches her except me." And just like that, everything changed. For Olivia, for Mama Sandra, for Nicholas, for everyone watching. The mansion smelled like roses and polished marble. Every step Olivia took on the shiny white tiles made her feel smaller. Her slippers squeaked softly from the rain. She tried to walk quietly, but her heart was too loud. Mama Sandra was now sitting on a cream sofa in the living room, her stick resting beside her, her wet wrapper replaced by a clean blanket. 2 maids moved nervously around her, drying her hair with soft towels. Olivia stood at the corner, unsure if she should sit or stand. She had never seen a place so bright, so clean, so big. Chandeliers sparkled above. A massive glass window showed the garden outside. Even the sound of the rain felt different here, softer, polite. Nicholas came down the staircase, phone in hand, his face tight with anger. A man followed behind him, showing something on the screen. "It's everywhere, sir," the man said. "People are calling you heartless." The video already has over 200,000 views. Nicholas's jaw flexed. He turned to his staff. "Find out who recorded it. Now, and tell PR to prepare a statement. No one outside this family speaks to the press. No one." Then he looked toward his mother. The anger vanished instantly. "Mama," he said, his voice soft now, trembling. "Why did you leave the house?" You know it's not safe for you alone. Mama Sandra smiled faintly. I just wanted to feel the wind again, Nicky. I was tired of sitting inside, listening to clocks tick. Her words broke something in him. Nicholas knelt beside her, holding her hands. You could have been hurt. Anything could have happened. Olivia watched from the corner, her fingers twisting together. It felt wrong to be there, like she was watching something too private. But then, Mama Sandra turned toward her. Olivia, my child, come closer. The sound of her name shocked her. She hadn't told anyone except the guards. Nicholas looked at his mother in surprise. You know her name? Yes, Mama Sandra said with a small smile. She told me while helping me cross the road. She's the reason I am sitting here now, safe. Nicholas stood and faced Olivia fully. His gaze was deep, heavy, unreadable. You helped my mother when nobody else would, he said quietly. Tell me, who are you? Olivia swallowed hard. I'm nobody, sir, just someone who was passing by. He took a slow step forward. No one is nobody, Olivia. Tell me about you. The room went silent except for the ticking wall clock. Olivia took a shaky breath. My parents died when I was 10. Car accident. I grew up in an orphanage. When I turned 18, they said I was too old to stay, so I left. I've been working in a small printing shop in Oshodi. I don't have anyone else. Her voice cracked on the last sentence. Nicholas studied her face. There was something pure in her tone. No begging, no acting, just truth. One of the maids whispered, She looks hungry, sir. Nicholas nodded. Get her food and water. Olivia shook her head quickly. Please don't bother, sir, I'm fine. But Mama Sandra spoke gently. Eat, my child. It's not a bother. It's kindness repaying kindness. Tears almost filled Olivia's eyes. She sat at the edge of the couch as a tray was placed before her, steaming jollof rice with fried plantain, chicken, and a cold bottle of water. She hesitated, then whispered, Thank you. Nicholas turned to his assistant. Cancel my meetings for the evening. He looked back at Olivia. After you eat, I want you to come to my study. There's something we need to talk about. The storm outside had passed. The city lights twinkled through the tall windows. Olivia stood outside the study door, trembling slightly. She knocked softly. Come in, Nicholas's voice said. The room smelled of old books and leather. Framed certificates lined the walls. NICTEC Global CEO, Best Innovator of the Year, Forbes Top 10 Under 40. Nicholas sat behind a large wooden desk, his sleeves rolled up, his laptop open but forgotten. Sit, he said, pointing to the chair across from him. Olivia sat carefully, her hands folded on her lap. He leaned forward. You said you work at a printing shop? Yes, sir. Do you like it? She looked down. It pays for food, sometimes. He nodded slowly. Do you want to study? Olivia blinked, confused. Study? Yes, university. Her lips parted. I can't, sir. I don't have anyone, no money. I barely finished secondary school. Nicholas's eyes softened. If I told you I could make that happen, would you believe me? Olivia looked at him like he was joking. Why would you do that for me? He smiled faintly. Because you did something money can't buy. You saw my mother when everyone else looked away. Silence filled the room. Only the ticking of the wall clock moved time forward. Nicholas leaned back. Tomorrow you'll go with my driver to our HR office. I'll call the university myself. You'll start classes next semester, software engineering, if that's what you want. Olivia gasped. Software engineering? How did you know? He smiled again. You were staring at my coding books on the shelf the moment you walked in. Your eyes lit up. Her face turned red. I've always wanted to learn. I read about it online, but life happened, he finished gently. She nodded. He stood, walked around the desk, and handed her a card. Take this. It has my personal assistant's number. Anything you need, call. And Olivia. She looked up. Don't call me sir anymore. My name is Nicholas. Her lips trembled. Thank you, Mr. Nicholas. He laughed softly. That's not what I meant. But we'll work on it. When Olivia left the study, she passed the hallway where Mama Sandra was resting on a recliner, listening to soft music. Did he scold you? Mama Sandra asked, smiling. Olivia shook her head. No, Mama. He wants to help me. The old woman smiled wider. That sounds like him. His father had the same heart. Her tone turned wistful. But power and pain can make good men forget how to be soft. Thank you for reminding my son how kindness looks. Olivia knelt beside her, touched her hand gently. He loves you, Mama. Mama Sandra's eyes glistened behind her dark glasses. Yes. But sometimes love hides behind silence. A pause. Then her voice dropped lower, as if remembering something she shouldn't say. There are things this house hides, my child. Good things. And bad things too. Olivia looked at her confused. Bad things? Mama Sandra smiled faintly. You'll understand soon enough. And before Olivia could ask, a loud knock came from the front door. 2 security men hurried in. One whispered something into Nicholas's ear. Nicholas's eyes darkened. Who? The guard answered quietly. The board, sir. They came unannounced. Nicholas stood still for a moment, then said, Tell them I'll be right there. As he walked away, his gaze brushed Olivia again, a look mixed with worry and something deeper, something unspoken. Mama Sandra turned her face toward the sound of his footsteps fading down the hall and whispered under her breath, It begins again. That night, while Olivia lay in the guest room staring at the chandelier above her, she didn't know that the kindness she showed on the street had placed her right in the middle of a secret that would soon shake the entire Nictec empire. And before the week ended, one of those secrets would come knocking, with a name she thought she'd never hear again. Morning light crept through the silk curtains of the guest room, dancing softly on the white sheets. Olivia turned on the bed, her eyes opening slowly. For a second she forgot where she was. The air smelled of perfume and fresh flowers, not smoke and dust. The bed felt too soft, softer than anything she had ever slept on. And then it hit her. She was in a billionaire's house. Her heart began to beat fast again. The memories of yesterday came back one by one. The rain, Mama Sandra, the angry cars, the mansion, and Nicholas saying, For saving my mother, your life will never be the same again. Olivia sat up. She was still wearing the clean clothes one of the maids had given her last night, a soft cotton shirt and simple trousers. She stretched her arms and whispered to herself, It wasn't a dream. A knock came on the door. Come in, Olivia said softly. A maid entered, smiling politely. Good morning, Ma. Breakfast is ready. Sir Nicholas said you should join him and Madame Sandra in the dining room. Olivia blinked. Ma, no one had ever called her that. Thank you, she whispered and followed. The dining room was massive. Sunlight poured through tall glass windows. A long table stretched across the center, filled with breakfast, golden bread, eggs, papaya slices, and steaming tea. Mama Sandra sat at one end, her dark glasses on, smiling gently. Nicholas sat beside her, reading something on his tablet. When Olivia entered, they both looked up. Good morning, Nicholas said, his tone softer than usual. Please, sit. Olivia hesitated. Good morning, sir. I mean, Nicholas. He smiled faintly. Better. Mama Sandra laughed lightly. Don't mind him. He likes to act serious before breakfast. Sit down, my dear. Olivia sat carefully and tried to eat slowly, even though her stomach was screaming for more. Halfway through the meal, Nicholas spoke. Olivia, I made some calls last night. I talked to the Vice-Chancellor of Lagos Tech University. You'll begin classes there next semester. You'll study software engineering. Olivia's spoon froze in mid-air. You really meant it? He nodded. You'll live here for now. We'll handle everything. Tears filled her eyes instantly. I don't know how to thank you. Mama Sandra reached across the table and touched her hand. Just keep being the girl who stops for people others walk past. Olivia smiled through the tears. But then something strange happened. A maid hurried in, whispering into Nicholas's ear. His face tightened again. Who? He asked quietly. The man from the board, sir. He says it's urgent. Nicholas sighed, wiped his hands, and stood. Excuse me. He left quickly, and the air in the room changed, heavy, uneasy. Mama Sandra turned her face toward the sound of his footsteps fading. Even breakfast is a war for him these days, she said softly. Olivia tilted her head. What do you mean? The old woman's smile faded. Nick Tech has enemies, my child. Some of them smile in the morning and plot by night. They would do anything to take what his father built. Olivia frowned. His father? Mama Sandra nodded slowly. Nicholas's father was a genius, but he trusted the wrong people. When he died, the board tried to take everything. Nicholas fought them and won, but some wounds never heal. Olivia was quiet for a moment. Do they still want to take the company? Mama Sandra gave a small, knowing smile. Some men never stop wanting what isn't theirs. Then she suddenly said, Child, do me a favor. There's a drawer beside my bed upstairs. Bring the brown envelope inside. I can't see, but I remember where it is. Olivia stood. Of course, Mama. The old woman's bedroom was upstairs, quiet and filled with the scent of jasmine. The bed was neatly made. On the nightstand, a framed photo showed a younger Mama Sandra with a man who looked exactly like Nicholas. Same eyes, same sharp smile. Olivia opened the drawer gently and found the brown envelope. But when she lifted it, something fell out. An old letter. The paper was yellow at the edges. Her eyes caught the words at the top. To my son, Nicholas. It looked personal. She wanted to put it back, but a few words written in darker ink caught her attention. If they find this before you do, it means they succeeded in destroying me. Olivia froze. She felt her heartbeat in her ears. Slowly she read a few more lines. Trust no one on the board, not even the ones you think are friends. The company was built on secrets, and one of those secrets lives under this house. Her hand trembled. Under this house? She wanted to stop reading, but curiosity pulled her eyes forward. If you ever meet someone who still believes in goodness, someone pure, protect them. They are your sign. Before she could read further, a voice spoke behind her. What are you doing there? Olivia jumped. The envelope slipped from her hands. A woman stood by the door, tall, elegant, cold-eyed. She was wearing a black pencil gown and heels that clicked on the marble floor. I was just, Olivia stammered. The woman's smile didn't reach her eyes. You must be the poor girl my husband brought home. Husband? Olivia whispered. Yes, the woman said sharply. I'm Cassandra, Nicholas's wife. Olivia's chest tightened. Oh, I didn't know. Cassandra's eyes traveled from Olivia's worn clothes to the envelope in her hand. What's that? It's Mama's, Olivia said quickly. She asked me to bring it to her. Cassandra's voice dropped low. Put it back. And listen carefully. Do not touch anything in this house again, unless you are told to. You might think this place is your miracle, but not everything that looks like gold is safe to hold. She turned to leave, her perfume filling the room. But before she stepped out, she added without looking back, Stay away from my husband. The door shut. Olivia stood frozen, the letter still in her hand. Her heart raced, her palms were sweaty. She could still feel Cassandra's eyes, cold and warning. She quickly placed the envelope back into the drawer and hurried downstairs. Mama Sandra was still waiting, her hands folded calmly on her lap. Did you find it? Yes, Mama. Good. Thank you, my child. But before Olivia could relax, the sound of shouting echoed from the hallway, Nicholas's voice. No one touches my mother's things. I said no one. Then the sharp voice of Cassandra. You can't bring strangers into our home and expect me to trust them. You don't know her. You don't know what she wants. Olivia froze. Mama Sandra sighed, whispering under her breath. And the storm begins. Nicholas's voice lowered, but was still full of anger. Olivia saved my mother's life, Cassandra. If you can't respect that, maybe you're the stranger here. The sound of a door slamming followed. Silence. Mama Sandra reached out her hand. Olivia. I'm here, Mama, Olivia said quietly, holding her hand. The old woman squeezed it gently. Don't be afraid. You didn't do anything wrong. But deep down, Olivia knew something had changed in the house. The air didn't feel peaceful anymore. And as she went back to her room that night, she couldn't stop thinking about that one sentence from the letter. One of those secrets lives under this house. In the dark, while everyone else slept, Olivia got out of bed and went to the window. Rain was starting again, tapping gently against the glass. She looked at the lights outside, the garden lamps, the driveway, the shining Rolls-Royce, and whispered to herself, what secret could a house like this be hiding? But she didn't know that before the next sunrise, she was going to find out. And it would change everything she thought she knew about the Nictek family, and about herself. The rain didn't stop that night. It whispered against the roof like it was trying to tell a secret that no one wanted to hear. Olivia couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the letter again. The words, "One of those secrets lives under this house." She kept asking herself what it meant. Was it just an old man's warning, or was something really hidden here? At 2:14 a.m., she gave up trying to sleep. The mansion was quiet now. The kind of quiet that felt too big, like the air was listening. She got up, pulled on a cardigan, and stepped into the hallway. The lights were dim. She could hear the soft ticking of the big clock downstairs. Every step she took echoed faintly on the marble floor. Olivia passed Mama Sandra's room. The door was slightly open. Inside, the old woman was asleep in her recliner, her walking stick beside her, her headphones still in her ears. Olivia smiled faintly, then kept walking. When she reached the living room, she stopped. Something felt strange. The air was cooler here, and the floor beneath the center rug had a faint hollow sound when she stepped on it. She frowned, bent down, lifted one corner of the rug. A faint outline of a metal handle appeared beneath the marble tiles. It looked old, rusted, hidden for years. Her heart began to race. She whispered to herself, "No way." She tugged on the handle. It didn't move at first. Then, with a creak that sounded like it came from deep underground, a square section of the floor lifted. Beneath it was a staircase, narrow, dark, leading down. Olivia's throat went dry. Her first thought was to close it back. But another thought came. If Nicholas's father mentioned a secret under this house, maybe this was it. She took a breath and started down the stairs. Each step groaned. The smell of dust and metal filled her nose. At the bottom was a small basement, dimly lit by a single flickering bulb. Stacks of old boxes lined the walls, covered with sheets. Some had Nictek printed on them, others had confidential in faded ink. Olivia reached out and brushed the dust from one box. Inside were files, blueprints, documents, old photos. One photo caught her eye. It showed a young Nicholas, about 12, standing beside his father and another man, a tall, broad-shouldered man in a white shirt. The back of the photo had writing on it. "The day we signed the partnership, Nicholas, our legacy begins." But there was something else scribbled under it, in rough handwriting. "He betrayed me." They both did. Olivia's skin prickled. She flipped through more papers and froze when she found a black folder marked Project Grace. Inside were designs for a software system, something that looked like early artificial intelligence. But at the bottom, written in red marker, was a warning: "Do not activate. Dangerous if misused." Olivia frowned. Why would a tech company hide something like this under a house? Before she could read further, a voice came from behind her, sharp and cold. "What are you doing here?" Olivia spun around. Cassandra stood at the top of the stairs, wearing a silk robe, her face pale with anger. I just heard something," Olivia stammered. "I didn't mean to." "Didn't mean to what?" Cassandra descended the stairs slowly, each heel clicking against the metal steps. "To break into private property. To dig into things that don't concern you." Olivia stepped back. "I swear, I was only curious." Cassandra's voice dropped lower. "Curiosity ruins good girls." She looked around the basement, her eyes narrowing at the open box. "You shouldn't have found this place." Olivia's heart pounded. "What is Project Grace?" For the first time, Cassandra hesitated. Her face changed, not angry now, but afraid. "Where did you hear that name?" "I saw it here," Olivia said, pointing to the file. "What is it?" Cassandra snatched the folder from her hand. "Forget what you saw. This house has memories that shouldn't be touched." "But why hide it?" Olivia pressed. "Nicholas doesn't even know this is here, does he?" Cassandra's silence said everything. Olivia took a step forward. "You know something. You're hiding something from him." Cassandra's lips trembled slightly before she regained her calm. "Go back to your room, Olivia. I won't tell Nicholas what you did tonight. But if you care about staying here, pretend this never happened." Olivia's voice cracked. "Does this have something to do with his father's death?" Cassandra's eyes snapped up. "Enough!" Her shout echoed through the basement. Olivia flinched. Then Cassandra whispered coldly, "Some doors, my dear, are locked for a reason." She grabbed Olivia's wrist tightly, leading her up the stairs. Olivia looked back once more, down into the dark hole below the house. The flickering bulb went out, and the basement disappeared into blackness. The next morning, everything looked normal, too normal. Nicholas was already dressed in his navy blue suit, ready for work. He greeted Olivia with a polite smile, but she could tell something else was bothering him. "Are you okay?" she asked quietly. He hesitated, then nodded. "Just board issues. We have a crisis. Someone leaked internal files to the press last night. They were found online by dawn." Olivia's heart jumped. "Files? What kind?" "Old ones," he said. "Blueprints, early prototypes, my father's projects. They shouldn't even exist anymore." She swallowed. "Project Grace," Nicholas continued, "will trace the source, but whoever did this had access to our private archives, maybe even the house." Olivia felt her stomach twist. She wanted to tell him what she saw last night, but Cassandra's warning echoed in her head. "If you care about staying here, pretend this never happened." "Is there anything I can do to help?" Olivia asked softly. He smiled faintly. "Just focus on your studies. Leave the company battles to me." As he walked away, Mama Sandra called from the living room, "Nikki, come kiss your mother before you turn into your father." He laughed softly and kissed her forehead. "I'll be back before dinner." Olivia watched him go, the tension in his eyes hidden behind his charm. When the door closed, Mama Sandra turned toward Olivia and said quietly, "You didn't sleep well last night." Olivia froze. "How did you know?" "I may not see, my child," Mama Sandra said with a small smile, "but I feel what eyes cannot." Then her smile faded. "You went below, didn't you?" Olivia's breath caught. "Below?" "The house," Mama Sandra whispered. "You found the stairs." Olivia's eyes widened. "How did you—" The old woman sighed. "My husband built that place before Nicholas was born. He said it was for research, but after his death, I begged them to seal it. Nothing good ever came from secrets buried underground." "Mama," Olivia said, voice trembling, "what is Project Grace?" Mama Sandra's fingers tightened around her walking stick. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then, in a low voice, she said, "Grace was not a project. She was a person." Olivia froze. "A person," Mama Sandra nodded slowly. "A young woman who worked with Nicholas's father. Brilliant, loyal. But what they created together destroyed her life." Olivia's voice went soft. "What happened to her?" "She disappeared," Mama Sandra said, "and every time I ask questions, people around this house stop answering." Olivia felt chills run through her arms. Suddenly, the mansion didn't feel like a home anymore. It felt like a trap, beautiful on the outside, haunted inside. Mama Sandra whispered, "Olivia, my child, promise me something." "What, Mama?" "If you ever see anything strange, people whispering, doors opening at night, documents you don't understand, promise me you'll run." Olivia hesitated. "Run?" "Yes," Mama Sandra said firmly, "kindness brought you here. But curiosity may not let you leave." That night, as thunder rolled over the city again, Olivia sat by her window with the brown letter in her hand. She had hidden it under her pillow after Cassandra's warning. Lightning flashed outside, bright enough to show the writing again. "If they find this before you do, it means they succeeded in destroying me." Olivia whispered, "What did they destroy?" Then, from somewhere deep inside the house, she heard a sound, faint, metallic, like a door opening underground, and just as she stood up to check, she saw a figure through the rain-spotted glass, someone standing by the garden gate. A shadow, watching the house. Her heart started to race, because whoever it was, they weren't supposed to be there. And they weren't moving. They were waiting. The sound of thunder rolled again, low and deep, like the growl of something ancient. Olivia pressed her palm to the cold glass window, staring into the rain. That figure was still there, standing just beyond the garden gate. perfectly still. Too still. Lightning flashed, and for a split second, she saw it clearly. A woman, tall, wearing a long coat soaked by rain, head slightly bowed, but the face, pale, ghost-like in the lightning, looked familiar. Olivia's breath hitched. Her mind flashed back to the name in the file. Grace. Could it be? No. That was impossible. Mama Sandra said Grace disappeared years ago. Still, something in her chest told her the secret under this house wasn't buried anymore. It was standing right there in the rain. Without thinking, Olivia grabbed her cardigan and ran out of the room. Her slippers slapped against the marble floor as she flew down the stairs. "Mama Sandra," she called softly, passing the sitting room. No answer. The lights flickered once, then steadied. She reached the front door and pulled it open. The rain hit her face immediately, cold and heavy. She stepped out onto the porch. "Hello? Who's there?" The figure didn't move. The wind blew and the garden lamps flickered again. "Who are you?" Olivia shouted louder now. The figure tilted her head slightly, then, in a soft, trembling voice, said, "Tell him. Tell Nicholas that Grace never died." Olivia froze. Her pulse roared in her ears. The woman turned to leave, walking away slowly down the wet road. "Wait!" Olivia cried, running after her. "Please, stop!" She reached the gate, yanked it open, and ran into the street, but the woman was gone. Gone. Only the rain remained. She stood there, breathing hard, her heart thundering as loud as the sky. "Grace?" she whispered into the night. Behind her, the mansion door opened sharply. "Olivia!" Nicholas's voice. He ran out, rain soaking his shirt within seconds. "What are you doing out here?" Olivia turned, still pointing toward the road. There was a woman. She was standing right there. She said Grace never died. Nicholas's face drained of color. "What did you say?" "She said," Olivia's voice trembled. "She said to tell you Grace never died. She was right here, Nicholas." He grabbed her shoulders gently. "Olivia, no one has been outside this compound since the security lockdown. Grace has been dead for over 10 years. You must have seen someone else." "I'm not lying," Olivia whispered. "I saw her. I heard her voice." Nicholas exhaled heavily, running a hand through his wet hair. "Come inside. You're shaking." He led her back toward the mansion, but just as they stepped in, a soft voice spoke from behind them, from the living room. "She's telling the truth." They both turned. Mama Sandra stood there, barefoot, one hand on her walking stick, her dark glasses slightly tilted. Nicholas stared. "Mama." The old woman nodded slowly. "Grace never died. They only made it look that way." Olivia's lips parted in shock. "You knew?" Mama Sandra sighed deeply. "I warned your father to stop, but he didn't listen. Grace worked for him, and they built something powerful together, a program that could predict human behavior. They said it would save lives, stop crime before it happened. But when they tested it..." She paused. Her voice trembled. It nearly killed her. It read too deep. Her mind, her memories. She vanished after that day, and your father told everyone she died. Nicholas looked like the ground had been pulled from under him. "You're saying my father lied?" Mama Sandra nodded weakly. "To protect you. And the company." Olivia swallowed. "Then the file. Project Grace. It wasn't just a software." "No," Mama Sandra whispered. "It was her. The program was her mind." Nicholas's eyes darkened, realization dawning. "If she's alive and she's back." "Then she wants revenge," Mama Sandra finished. Lightning cracked outside again, shaking the windows. Nicholas turned to Olivia. "You saw which way she went?" Olivia nodded. "Down the road toward the main gate." He grabbed his car keys. "Stay with my mother. Lock the doors. Don't open for anyone." "Nicholas, please don't," Mama Sandra began, but he was already gone. The front door slammed. The black Rolls-Royce engine roared outside, fading quickly into the storm. 20 minutes later, the mansion felt heavier now. Olivia helped Mama Sandra sit back down, her own hands trembling. "Mama," she said softly, "what if Grace really is alive?" Mama Sandra's voice was low. "Then everything Nicholas believes about his father will crumble." Olivia sat beside her, heart pounding. "Do you think she'll hurt him?" "No." Mama Sandra whispered, but truth hurts deeper than any knife. They both sat in silence, the rain drumming above them. Then, suddenly, the lights flickered again, and from the far end of the hallway, a voice echoed, "You shouldn't have opened that door, Olivia." Olivia turned sharply. Cassandra was standing there, her face half lit by the dim chandelier. Her mascara was smudged, her hair loose. "Mrs. Cassandra?" Olivia said nervously. "Nicholas went to look for—" "I know," Cassandra interrupted, stepping closer. "You shouldn't have told him." Her tone was cold, too calm. "Mama Sandra was right," Cassandra continued. "Grace isn't dead. But she should have stayed hidden, because if she talks, everything will fall. Nick Tech, the fortune, even Nicholas." Olivia took a step back. "What do you mean?" Cassandra's eyes gleamed. "Your precious Project Grace was never about saving lives. It was about control. And the moment the truth comes out, Nicholas will lose everything. And I will not let that happen." She pulled something from her robe pocket, a small silver flash drive. "This contains every file from the basement. If I destroy it, no one will ever know." Mama Sandra's voice trembled. "Cassandra, don't do this." "I have to," she shouted suddenly. "I can't lose everything because of a ghost." Then from outside came the sharp sound of tires screeching. Olivia ran to the window. "It's Nicholas," she gasped. Through the rain, they saw the Rolls-Royce skid to a stop at the gate. Nicholas jumped out, soaking wet, running toward the house. He burst into the living room, out of breath. "She's gone. I couldn't find her." Then he saw Cassandra, and the flash drive in her hand. "What is that?" he demanded. Cassandra's face went pale. "Nicky, please, let me explain." He took a slow step forward, eyes locked on the drive. "Where did you get that?" Did you take it from the basement?" She hesitated, and that was enough. Nicholas's expression hardened. "You knew about the files. You knew about Grace." Cassandra's voice cracked. "I did it for us, for you. If the truth comes out, Nictech will collapse. Everything you built will vanish." "I don't care about the company," Nicholas shouted. "You lied to me." Tears filled her eyes. "I did it to protect you." "No," he said coldly. "You did it to protect yourself." The flash drive slipped from her trembling hand and hit the marble floor with a small clink. Olivia bent down, picked it up carefully, and turned to Nicholas. "What do we do now?" He looked at her, then at his mother, then at the storm raging outside. "We find her," he said. "We find Grace and finish what my father started. This time, with the truth." Mama Sandra smiled faintly. "Then maybe, my son, the past can finally rest." Nicholas nodded once, then looked at Olivia. "Will you help me?" Olivia met his eyes, the same eyes that once looked cold and unreachable, but now carried fire and hope. "Yes," she said quietly. "I will." He smiled slightly, almost with relief. "Good. Because from this moment, you're not just someone who saved my mother. You're part of this family now." Mama Sandra's hand trembled with joy. Outside, the rain began to ease, a faint silver mist replacing the storm. Dawn light peeked over the city skyline, but Olivia knew this was not the end. This was the beginning of something bigger, a truth that had been buried for years, finally reaching the surface. And somewhere, in the shadows of Lagos, the mysterious woman named Grace watched the sunrise and whispered to herself, "It's time to finish what we started." If you like this story, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories.